this lecture video, we are going to discuss about adjectives. What are adjectives? Earlier we had studied about nouns, and we know what are nouns, that is name of a person, place, thing or a place. So we are going to see what are adjectives in this lecture. Now we know that adjectives are words which describe nouns. For example, if I check out these sentences, Sita is a clever girl. I don't like that boy. He gave me 5 mangoes. There is little time for preparation. So in these statements, I'm going to write these statements over here. Sita is a clever girl. I don't like that boy. He gave me 5 mangoes. There is little time for preparation. In all of these sentences, you can see that there are words which describe the noun. Sita is a noun, fine. Girl is also a noun, and there is a word which describes girl. What kind of a girl? Clever girl. So this, it answers the question, what kind of a girl is Sita? So what kind of a girl? She's a clever girl. I don't like that boy. Which boy? It answers the question, which boy? He gave me 5 mangoes. How many mangoes? So this answers the question, how many? So this word 5 answers the question, how many? There is little time for preparation. This answers the question, how much? How much time is left for preparation? So we can see that all these words which I have encircled here, all these words, they describe something, they describe a noun, and hence these words are known as adjectives. They are used with a noun to describe or point out the person, animal, place, thing, all denoted by the noun. So in these sentences you can see that clever is used to describe the girl, that is used to point at a boy. 5 is used to count the number of mangoes, and little is used to measure the time for preparation. So all these words which are used to add some meaning or describe a noun, they are known as adjectives. To tell number or quantity. Now adjectives can be used attributively or predicatively, like the lazy boy was punished, the boy is lazy. So over here you can see the difference between the two statements. The lazy boy was punished and the boy is lazy. So the difference between the two is, here in the first statement, lazy word directly describes boy, hence it has been used attributively. It has been used attributively, whereas in the second statement it forms a part of the predicate, that is, it tells how is the boy. So the boy is lazy, it is used predicatively. So in the first statement you can see that the entire part, that is, if I consider this whole part, the lazy boy, here the word lazy is considered a part of the subject of the statement. It's considered a part of the subject. Whereas in the second statement, this word lazy is a part of the predicate. Here the subject is what? The boy. And here is lazy becomes the predicate. Hence this part becomes your predicate. Used along with the noun boy, here it is used along with the verb. So here lazy is used to describe the boy, that is the noun, and here the word lazy is used along with the verb. Here it is a part of a subject, also known as epithet or attribute, whereas here it is a part of the predicate. Here it is used attributively, here it is used predicatively. So we can see that how adjectives can be used along with the noun as well as along with the verb. If it is used with the noun, then it becomes an attribute and a part of the subject of the sentence, whereas in the second part, if it is used predicatively, it forms a part of the predicate and is used along with the verb. Now we will see kinds of adjectives. We have adjectives of quality, quantity, number, demonstrative and interrogative adjectives. These are the 5 basic types of adjectives. Now in modern English they have introduced some other subclasses also, which we will see as and when we come across those topics, but basically these are the 5 main classes of adjectives. Adjective of number has 3 more classifications, that is definite, indefinite and distributive adjectives. The first one which we are going to see is adjective of quality. So by the name itself it is clear that it explains to us, it answers the question what kind, describes the quality of the noun. So it shows the kind or quality of a person or thing, answers the question of what kind. Example, Kolkata is a large city. He is an honest man. The foolish old crow tried to sing. So in these 3 sentences, I'm going to point out the adjective of quality. So I write here the 3 sentences. He is an honest man. The foolish old crow tried to sing. So in these sentences you can see large city, honest man, foolish and old. These words describe the noun which they precede. Like what kind of a city? Large city. What kind of a man? Honest man. What kind of a crow? Foolish as well as old crow. So foolish and old, these both are adjectives. So this is adjective of quality. Next is proper adjectives. They are formed from proper nouns and they are classed with adjectives of quality. For example, French wines, Turkish tobacco, Japanese tea. So in these statements you can see, if I write French wine, Turkish tobacco, Japanese tea, Indian spice. So in this you can see that although French stands for it's derived from the word France. The word French has been derived from the word France, which is the name of a place. And because it has been derived from the word France, we know that France actually represents what? A proper noun. So, but here we are trying to describe a wine which is of a specific quality. French wines are considered to be world famous, and so we are trying to represent, or we are trying to highlight the property of French wines. What kind of wines are French wines? So, in that is the reason why this word French, which has been derived from the word France, it is used as an adjective over here to describe the wine, the type of wine. What kind of wine? French wine. So French becomes a type of a class of adjectives known as proper adjectives. They form a class of adjectives known as proper adjectives. So proper adjectives are like Turkish tobacco. It comes from the word Turkey, the name of a place. Turkish tobacco. So tobacco, what kind of tobacco? Turkish tobacco. Japanese tea, Indian spice, Mexican taco. So these all are examples of proper adjectives. This is a grammar of the English language. So English is also what? It describes, it comes from the word England. So English is also used to describe the language. What kind of language? It's the English language. Got it? Next is adjective of quantity. It shows how much of a thing is meant. Answer the question how much. So quantity would be I ate some rice. We'll see the examples first. He showed much patience. He has little intelligence. So in this I am going to write these statements. I ate some rice. He has little patience. He has little intelligence. Okay. She showed much patience at the interview. In much patience during the interview. He has, we already know that patience is of virtue, especially during a critical situation like interview where you need to keep your head cool and calm. So she showed much patience. There is a lot of milk, or I'll rather use there is much milk in this container so as to last 3 days. So in these statements you can see, first we'll try to highlight the noun. So rice is the noun, patience abstract noun, intelligence abstract noun, milk common noun, rice common noun, and the words describing them: some, much, little, much. So these words, I cannot say I ate 3 rice or I ate 4 rice or I ate few rice, because we literally cannot count the number of rice gains. That's a different story. People during the lockdown, they, in order to pass time, they have resorted to counting the grains of individual grains of rice and posting them on their Instagram or Facebook accounts. So that has become a kind of a hobby with people. But normally, during our normal days, Usually no one would prefer counting the grains of rice. So you won't count rice, you don't count patience, you don't count intelligence or milk. You will always measure these. Okay, so these words, they answer the question how much. Hence they are referred as adjectives of quantity. We had enough exercise. So we'll see some more statements. He has lost all his wealth. You have no sense. He did not eat any rice. Take great care of your health. He claimed his half share of the booty. There has not been sufficient rain this year. So let's mark the uh, adjectives of quantity over here. We have had enough exercise. So enough is the adjective of quantity. He has lost all his wealth, all of his wealth. You have no sense. He did not eat any rice. Take great care. Sorry, not your. I'm going to delete this. That's an error. Take great care of your health. What? How much care? Great care. He claimed his half share of the booty. Now, what is a booty? Booty is a slang word which is used to describe, it's used to describe valuable stolen wealth. Normally thieves or delinquent people who are on a run always, and they tend to steal things from places. uh, the thing or valuable items which they steal, that is generally referred in slang language as booty. So he claimed his half share of the booty. There has not been sufficient rain this year. So all these highlighted words, they answer the question how much. So these are what? These are adjectives of quantity. The whole sum was expected. So this last statement I leave as an exercise for you. Next is adjective of number. So now, as opposed to adjective of quantity where you could count the number of words, now you, sorry, not count, you were able to measure the uh, amount of things. Now you will be able to count the number of things or persons or places, that is any noun which the adjective describes, and answer the question how many. So show how many persons or things are meant, in what order a person or thing stands. Yes, one more thing is in what order. Examples: the hand has 5 fingers. So I'm going to write these here. The hand has 5 fingers. Next, few cats like cold water. There are no pictures in this book. I have taught you so many things. So in these statements you can see 5 fingers, few cats, no pictures, and many things. The fingers, cats, pictures, things, these all are nouns, and the words describing them, they actually specify how many. They answer the question how many. So they will be answering the question how many. So in this you also have some other statements like you have cold water. What kind of water? So here this cold will be what? Adjective of quality. No pictures in this book. We are coming to this. This would be demonstrative adjective. And I have taught you many things. Of course, there are no other adjectives in this statement. So you can see that you can use all these words to describe all those nouns which can be counted. Now you cannot measure fingers, you cannot measure cats, you cannot measure pictures, or you cannot measure things. So these all things are discrete things which are counted as individual units. Like, I can give you another example here. I asked the shopkeeper to give me 5 packets of skimmed milk. So in this you can see I have written 5 like this. I should have written it FIV. So 5 packets, adjective of number. Whereas skimmed milk, what kind of milk? Skimmed milk, hence it will be adjective of quality. All men must die. Sorry, this is something wrong which I have written here. I am going to correct it. All men must die. I don't want, it's a kind of a sexist statement, so I should remove it, or I should modify this. All cruel men must die. So I just modified the statement here. So you can see now these are few more statements, and let's try to indicate the adjective of number here. 5, few, there are no pictures. I have taught you many things. All cruel men must die. So all becomes your adjective of number, whereas cruel becomes the adjective of quantity. Here are some ripe mangoes. So some becomes the adjective of number, whereas ripe becomes what? Adjective of quality. Most boys like cricket. Most boys. There are several mistakes in your exercise. Several. And your exercise could become possessive adjective. Sunday is the first day of the week. So first day. Now here it's a different kind of a statement where we are pointing out which day. Okay, the order or sequence. So this also becomes adjective of number. Next is adjective of number. How is it divided? Adjective of number is further divided into 3 types: definite, indefinite, and distributive. Definite numeral adjective, indefinite numeral adjective, and distributive numeral adjective. Let's see what they are. The first thing, definite numeral adjectives. It denotes an exact number, for example 1, 2, 3, etc. First, second, third, etc. So in this also we have 2 types, 2 classes: cardinals and ordinals. So what are the cardinals? Cardinals would be simple counting numbers: 1, 2, 3, and so on. Whereas ordinals would be numbers which describe sequence: first, second, third, and so on. So cardinal denotes how many, and ordinal denotes order of things in a series. Like, if I say So I say these two statements. Alicia got the first position in her class. First becomes, because it denotes a sequence, that is order. So Alicia got the first position, it becomes adjective of number. And what are we using in this? Indefinite. We are using definite numeral adjectives, and in that we are using what? Ordinals. So ordinals, definite numeral, and adjective of number. These three things. Whereas if I talk about the second one, give me 5 bags of rice, everything would be the same. That is this part. It is also definite numeral, adjective of number, but it would be using cardinals. That is exact counting numbers. Now indefinite, now definite numeral adjectives means that you already know how many things are there. That is a finite number of things are exist. Whereas in case of indefinite numeral adjective, the number of nouns or the number of things or persons is not known, do not denote an exact number. For example, all, no, many, few, some, any, certain, several, sundry. Okay, so here you can see when I say all men are the same, so all represents what? There are countless number of men in this world, so you cannot say how many men are there. No or many, few, they don't give me the exact number of the nouns, hence they are referred as indefinite numeral adjectives. Next is distributive numeral adjectives. Refer to each one of a number. For example, each boy must take his turn. So over here, when we were studying about pronouns, you might have seen that I had mentioned one such example, that if the noun in that particular statement is being pointed by one such determiner, that is each, or one such adjective, that is each, then that means we are referring to every single boy, and hence we are going to use what? A singular pronoun over here. So over here we are talking about the adjective in this statement, so we say each boy, that is we are distributing, that is each boy, every boy should take his turn. If there are 5 boys, all 5 boys should get their turn. So we are distributing the situation to all the boys, hence this turns into distributive adjective. Some other examples: India expects every man to do his duty. Every man. Then we have every word of it is false. Either pen will do. On either side is a narrow line. In these statements we can see either side, neither accusation. So these are examples of distributive numeral adjectives. Now what are the differences between adjective of quantity and adjective of number? Adjective of quantity versus adjective of number. Like I ate some rice, some boys are clever. So the same word, same adjective can be used as adjective of quantity also and adjective of number also. So you can make out whether these two are different by looking at the noun which they describe. For example, if I write here, I ate some rice and some boys are clever. So in these two statements you have to look at the noun which the adjective describes. In the first one we have rise. Rise is a kind of noun which cannot be counted. That is, it is an uncountable noun. Whereas in the second one, it is a countable noun. Countable and uncountable nouns, they are parts of your common nouns. So this is an uncountable noun, whereas this is a countable noun. So some boys are clever, so this is a countable noun. Likewise, we have other statements. He has lost all his wealth, all men must die. So lost all his wealth. So all, and what wealth? It describes the word wealth. So wealth is something which cannot be counted, but men is something which can be counted. You have no sense. Sense cannot be counted. There are no pictures in this book. Pictures can be counted. He did not eat any rice. So any rice, again rice is uncountable. Are there any mango trees in this garden? So mango trees is what? Countable. I have enough sugar. Sugar is again uncountable. There are not enough spoons. So here spoons is countable. So you can see, if you are using the adjective with uncountable noun, then it would become an adjective of quantity. Whereas if you are using the adjective with a countable noun, it becomes an adjective of number. Demonstrative adjectives. They point out which person or thing is meant. I'm going to open my open board again. Answer the question which. So for pointing out anything, answering the question which, we need what? We need demonstrative adjectives. Like for example, this boy is stronger than Hari. That boy is industrious. So you can easily see this, that, these are words which are pointing to the nouns. These mangoes are sour. So let's see. These mangoes, those rascals, yonder fort, don't be in such a hurry. I hate such things. So here you can see that this and that is basically used with singular nouns like boy or such or fort, and these or those are used with plural nouns like these, mangoes, rascals, things. Interrogative adjectives. Finally, the adjectives which ask question. Used with nouns to ask questions. Which, what, whose. They answer the question which, what, whose. So, for example, what manner of man is he? So, here manner is what manner of man is he. So, here the word manner is what? It is an abstract noun. It's an abstract noun. And what is used to describe the abstract noun? What? What manner? Question is being asked. What manner? So this becomes your interrogative adjective. So this is your interrogative adjective. Likewise, which way shall we go? So which, whose, these all are interrogative adjectives. What is used in the general sense, which is used in the selective sense. What manner of man is he? So this is a general sense, but which way represents what? Now manner, it could be described that he could be of any manner. He could be a congenial man, he could be well behaved, he could be he could be ill mannered, okay, any kind. But when I say which way shall we go, so which represents a particular direction, so it is used in the selective sense, whereas what is used in the general sense. So with this we complete our adjectives. In our next class we will be discussing verbs.